Hi, friends. Welcome. Come on over to the Insight Timer app to be part of our interactive experience today. Welcome. Ah, we'll wait a few moments for everyone to join. Hi, Jason. Hi, sweet Jason. Hi, Angela. Long time. Hi, Cindy. Hi, John. Hi, friends. Hi, Tatiana. Hi, Teresa. Oh, thank you. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here joining us. It really is an incredible platform. Just incredible. Oh, wonderful, Jason. And what is your wife's name? So wonderful to have you joining us today. Hi, Jacqueline. Oh, yes, yes. So good to be together. Hi, Laverne. Wonderful. Hi, Denise. Great. Great. Ah, what a treat. What a treat. If you haven't said hello, feel free to just drop a hi in the chat. Maybe share where you're from or your favorite kind of ice cream, dairy free, full of dairy, whatever you choose. uh, Hi, Yuri. I'm so grateful to be together. Let's just do a little sound test. Is our sound coming through clearly? How's our connection? I'm hardwired in and everything should be working well. Oh, hi, Priyanka. Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, great. Thanks, Angela. And of course, as a reminder, if you're ever in one of the Insight Timer live sessions and you're having difficulty seeing or hearing, and it seems that it's not a shared experience with everyone else, you can always exit and come back in as a way to hopefully reset the issue, unless it's just a Wi Fi issue on your end. mm, wonderful. Hi, everyone. Hi, Michael. Hi, Anami. Mm, so good. Okay, well, of course, if you're not watching us right now on the Insight Timer app and you'd like to come be part of our interactive time together, I invite you to download Insight Timer. It's an amazing app and it's free. Hi, Loretta. And that will give you an opportunity to be with us in community if you wish. For anyone that I'm getting to meet for the first time, my name is Selena Lael. And this is a 5-week series on cultivating a deeper, more nourishing relationship with our souls. I have many recordings here on the app, many. I lead live sessions each week. We're just resuming after I've been traveling. You can usually find one meditation or a talk or a combo, and usually one yoga asana practice, the physical postures of yoga. You can see that on my profile page. All the live sessions are listed there, or at least a few at a time. They've changed the feature, so you can't see all of the lives, but you can at least see the next few that are coming up. And what else? We have a group, a wonderful community group called Love Heals All. So if you'd like to be part of this beautiful energy that we create together or have a platform to share about your experiences during this series, you can join our group, Love Heals All. And I know many of you have joined in the 30-day affirmation challenge that's been happening. If you haven't already, it's really wonderful and just a nice way to be in community and have a short meditation each day to put us in a wonderful headspace. So if you just go to, I think it's the home page here on the app, you can just join the 30-day affirmation challenge. I'm one of the teachers in that, and it's been so wonderful getting to experience all of these different affirmation meditations that have been shared with the community. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to those of you just joining. So wonderful. All right. So before we dive into our experience, well, actually, it's part of the experience. So let's dive into our experience and start with the centering technique. Many of you have practiced this simple yet powerful technique with me many times. For some, maybe it's a new technique. It's an ancient uh, technique, yogic technique. You're welcome to practice this standing or seated. And I'll scoot back a little so you can see me, but you can kind of use your imagination. And of course, if you can't move your body for any reason, you can just visualize this. The power of the mind uh, is incredible. So let's start with the hands touching at the heart. Sit tall, relax the shoulders down. And this technique is really about aligning ourselves in our daily lives. Maybe our mental energy is pulled here and here and here, and our emotions feel like they're all over the place. Or maybe there's some kind of physical pain that makes us feel like it's pulling us out of some sense of centeredness within ourselves. So, this technique brings everything back into alignment, everything back into harmony. We can practice it as many times as we like throughout the day. And it really does help kind of bring this centeredness to our beingness. So, with the hands at the heart, I'll mirror you. We'll start with the right hand. You're really welcome to start with either hand, though. Inhale, reach your right arm all the way up, straighten the elbow if you can, and the left hand comes down by the navel, fingers point up. And then exhale slowly, like you're moving through honey, to bring the hands all the way back to the heart where they gently touch. Slow, deep inhalation. The left arm reaches all the way up. Straighten the elbow if you can. The right hand comes down by the navel. Exhale as slowly as you can to bring the hands back to the heart. Really take your time. And we'll go one more time on the right side. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Left hand moves down by navel, but the fingers point up. Exhale slowly, slowly, all the way back to the heart. Feel the thumbs gently touching the chest, the palms gently touching. Close the eyes. Feel your innermost self. Thank you. So we did 3 rounds. Yes, right, left, right. You're welcome to do 4 if you prefer even numbers. You're welcome to do this more than 3 or 4 times as you wish. And again, you can do it as many times as you like throughout the day. It's a really wonderful little reset energetically. And then, of course, just physically, when we breathe in this way, we're activating the parasympathetic nervous system, that relaxation response inside, and giving our mind something to focus on for a few breaths, which can also bring a greater experience of calm and ease. All right. Nourishing the relationship with the soul. I feel so far from you. I feel like I want to just be closer here. Ah, I invite you to be here just as you are, with whatever beliefs you hold, with whatever is happening in your mind today, with whatever is happening in the emotions today, with whatever is happening in the body, whether you feel like you're as bright as the sun or in a dark hole right now, I invite you fully, wholly, just as you are, to be here. The soul is an endless well of compassion. And I also invite that you don't need to agree with me. Hi, beloved. Oh, Aisha's asking, inhale, arm moved up, exhale, arms moved down. It's actually simultaneous. So the inhale, they're separating. So they're going like this, and then the exhale, they come back together. Inhale, they separate, exhale, they come back together like that. Uh, you may not agree with what I have to say, with what I say, and that's okay. Uh, that's totally okay. Maybe you resonate with some of the things that I say and some of the things not so much, and that is also okay. You're very welcome to be here, even if we're not on the same page. This is an exploration, and this is regardless of what I say in this 5 week series. This is about you with your experience with yourself. Thank you for the hearts. I see your hearts. I see you. I feel you. I'm grateful. And if you wish, relax your hands and just start to absorb this energy. There's an energy here in this space together. There's something that starts to wake up within us when we turn our attention toward the soul. So let's start briefly just kind of speaking about what is the soul through my experience, through the teachings that uh, I have been part of. The soul is this aspect of you that has been with you lifetime after lifetime. And again, you may not believe in lifetimes. Maybe you don't believe in reincarnation. You believe in one life. You don't believe in soul at all, but you're just kind of curious about what this is about. You're totally welcome here. You may be atheist, agnostic. You may believe that when the body dissolves, there's nothing left. That's okay. Be here with us if you wish. Maybe you're just attracted to be here for some reason. You don't know why, and that's totally okay. So the soul, hmm, I see your comment, Nathan. The soul has been with us lifetime after lifetime through everything that we've gone through. It is, in a way, our greatest ally, maybe we could say, our most beloved, this presence that has been with us all along. No matter how alone we've felt, or how much pain we've experienced, or how much joy we've experienced, the soul has been with us through all of these experiences, all of them. And some of you are familiar with the idea of a higher self, or the I am presence, or this source energy, or this source self. This idea that we are all this oneness of source energy. Maybe you use the word God or Allah or something like this, but there is this one source energy. We are all this same source energy, no different. And then there's this individuated experience. You might imagine like a big bright sun, this big beautiful sun. And then, sometimes we see in paintings or even children's drawings, we see a sun is depicted with these rays of light. Yes, so it's like this circle of light and then these rays of light. We are all this one sun. And these rays of light are our experience of individuation, this illusion of separateness, when all the while we are all still in source. We are all still this magnificent light, this oneness that this sun is. So these individual rays, or seemingly individual rays, are what we might consider to be the soul, this experience of an individual in the oneness that we are. And the soul, as much as it has all of these experiences, it has been through all of these human experiences with us. It is in its essence pure, pure. No matter the pain we might have gone through or the darkness we might have experienced or maybe that we're experiencing right now, the soul is this light that is ever present. And this is all about our relationship with our soul. That's what these 5 weeks are about. Okay, I have this soul. Maybe some of you feel that you do have a soul. Maybe you relate to your soul. Maybe you have some kind of an experience of a connection with your soul. But maybe you're just wanting more of a relationship. So, how do we cultivate a relationship with this light that we are? So often, when we speak about spirituality or different concepts like this, we speak about it in a way that makes it sound separate from who we are, right? And that's just so that the intellectual mind can understand or attempt to understand something that is not separate. We are not separate from the soul. I'll just take a little side note here. Something that I find so beautiful and resonate with. For many of us, when we think of the soul, we think of the physical body as the vehicle. Yes, the physical body is the vehicle, it is the vessel for the soul, for this light that we are. And so here's the body, and then the soul is inside of the body, right? I know many of you also have, grown up or had this idea that the soul is in the body. However, the soul is this magnificent light like a sun. And so, what's really beautiful, sometimes you'll see depictions of this, pictures, paintings, things like this, is that the body is actually within the soul. I wish I had a picture right here to show you. I don't. Maybe next time I'll bring a picture to share. Maybe one day we'll have the ability to have slides in these live sessions so I can share some really clear digital images. Um, but the light of the soul is this magnificence. So the physical body, although it is the vessel for our experience as human, the soul is not just in, but all around. It is this light that we are. Yes, Steve, I will bring some pictures next time. So Tatiana's asking a question. Would you say that our soul, spirit, and consciousness is the same thing, just different names for the same concept? Oh, that's such a great question. And there are, of course, different schools of thought when it comes to this. And so I will share what I have learned. Even the word consciousness has different definitions. So again, I'll share what I learned from the yogic teachings I've been involved in since birth, and my beloved teacher Saima, who I've been studying with for over 20 years, and different teachers that have been a grace in my life. And who knows, maybe I'm sure, I imagine that my understanding of this will evolve over time through experience as well. My understanding is that there is this one unbounded ocean of consciousness. And I like to think of this as source. Some teachings would say that consciousness is an aspect from source. So let's imagine, I really wish I had slides for this. Let's imagine here is source. Source is non duality, it is oneness. There is no separation in source. It is the essence of one, whatever that means. Yes? Source is all, no differentiation. And then out of source comes an expression of self. And and so sometimes we hear about consciousness as an expression of life that comes from source. I often think about consciousness as source itself, but I guess if you think about what the word conscious means, it means it's something that is aware, right? So we might think of this oneness as source, that we are all, that we are always, and then consciousness as an expression of the awareness of source. And then consciousness moves into these individuated forms. So you have source, then you have awareness, then you have the illusion of individuation, the illusion of separateness. Okay, here's the soul. The soul is an individual expression of this experience. And then, of course, the body is even more of an individual expression of this experience where we really get to experience that we're separate. We really think that we are this body, this mind, these emotions, and we get very lost in that. Yes, it's part of this Maya, this dream, and the beauty of the experience as well. Uh, Yes, Steve. Steve is sharing this language is so tricky and so lovely. Yeah, it's a whole new way of thinking, especially if this is new for you. So, maybe one of the simple ways we can come back to playing with this in our minds is there is source, which is oneness, and we are all source. And then the soul is this more individuated expression. Now, not too long ago, I heard my beloved teacher Saima say that the soul is also the same. And so my mind was like, decades of understanding something that I thought I understood, and maybe I don't understand it at all now. So I'm not, what is it? The jury's out on my understanding of the soul. And I guess, we could really play with this forever and just get stuck on one point because if you look through the lens of duality, meaning separateness, things look very different than if we were to look at through the lens of non-duality. When there is non-duality, everything I'm saying here is just washed away because there is no separateness, there is no individuation, there is no discernment or distinction. It is all one. So it's all the lens we look through. Again, when we speak about so many of these spiritual concepts, we speak about them in a way that sounds separate, and that is how the intellectual mind can understand. So here we have, and feel free if okay. So Tatiana is coming back. Great, Tatiana. I was just going to ask you. So you're saying so according to this theory, consciousness is all that is all that is there. And each of us is the extension on this consciousness or source in separate physical bodies. I like what Aisha is saying right after that to kind of follow up to your question there, Tatiana. We are all aspects of source experiencing source's self. So again, we can really get lost in trying to define it. And what I'd like to move into is more experience for us. We can get caught up in the analyzation and the intellect of what is soul and what is one and what is separate. And we could spend a lot of time there. And that's totally okay. That can be fun. That can be enlightening sometimes, revealing. And as much as we will move into some of these concepts during this 5-week series, I'd also really like for us to start to have experiences because no matter what I'm saying, each of us here might experience our soul or our relationship to soul very differently. So I feel it's less about understanding a concept and more about exploring what is my experience of soul? What is the experience of of the soul that I am. So, Tatiana is asking, right or not, based on the question. So, Tatiana, I'm not sure if you received an answer in what we were just speaking to, but play with it. Play with it. We can think about, again, I like this idea of this image of this sun. You imagine this big, bright sun. And when you see a sun and you see those little rays of light coming out of the sun, think about it right now. You know, sometimes there are those magical days where you look up in the sky and you look at the clouds and the light of the sun is pouring through, and it's like these clear pillars of light just pouring through, like, oh, like heaven moments pouring down to the earth. When you see those rays of light, do you think, oh, those are separate from the sun? Or do you think, oh, look at the sunlight? We see it as the sun. When we see those rays of light, we think sun. That is the oneness. So we might consider this when we think of soul. The soul is that light, that ray of light pouring down, but it's not separate. It's not something separate. Okay, great, great, great. Oh, all my little hairs are tickling my face. So I'd like to take us into a bit of an exploration here, because this for me is such a special way to start to connect with what does it feel like to be with my soul. So you're welcome to have your eyes open or closed. And let's just imagine, just for the sake of exploration, let's imagine that reincarnation does exist. Totally okay if you don't believe in it, but for the sake of playing here, I invite you to give it a try. So imagine a long, long time ago, you took your first breath. Actually, let's go back even before that. Imagine a long, 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 long time ago when you were still in source, in the oneness of all of creation that you are and that everything else is, resting in source. And then source, becoming conscious, becoming aware, says, I would like to experience myself. And so from this source comes this ray of light, this individual ray of light that is you as source beginning to move out into an experience of itself. So there's this ray of light, this consciousness, this soul that then takes a human body, meaning taking on a human experience. And as the soul is in the womb, it's having this experience then of being born. And here you are in your first human incarnation. And of course, if you don't believe in incarnation and this is just too much, just imagine this lifetime. The soul has chosen to take a human birth. By the way, many beautiful spiritual teachings from many different places in the world say that to have a human experience and incarnation of being human is beyond precious. All life is beyond precious, but souls wait thousands and thousands of lifetimes to be able to take human form. And this comes from different traditions, not just yogic traditions. So here you are taking this incarnation. We'll call it your first. And you go through all of these experiences: pain, fulfillment, disappointment, fear, joy, making so many mistakes as each of us do as human beings. And the whole time you're unaware because you've forgotten. Part of having the human experience is that we forget. We forget that we are source. Because if I remembered, think of it, if I remembered right now that I am one with everything, would I be able to still have this play of life? The dramas, the anger, the rage, the sadness, the fear, the shame. Oh, if I knew that I was in harmony with all of creation and that everything and everyone around me is just me and I am them. If I knew that I was in the heart of Source, or you might say the heart of God, I would not have a human experience the same way because I would know in every fiber of my being that all is well. So, part of the journey of taking the human form is the forgetfulness. So, here I am having this human experience. I forget that I am one with all of life, and I also forget that I am soul. I think I'm human. I think that I am the pain that I experience. I think that I am what's happening in the body, mind, and emotions. And even though I've forgotten soul, soul has not forgotten me. Soul is with me the entire time through all of those experiences, present, loving, patient, just there, allowing me to have my human experience. And then this happens again and again and again. Again and again, we take birth as a human being and we forget. And we go through life experiences forgetting that the soul is always here. Imagine, imagine you are the presence of soul. And through and imagine that you're watching your personality, for example. Imagine you are the presence of soul and you're watching your personality get really angry at so and so and feel really hurt by that friend and betrayed by that partner and alone and crying in your room. Imagine your soul and you've been with the personality this whole time, but the personality will say, the humanness doesn't remember that you're there. It doesn't remember, but you're there. You're there loving this human self. You're there caring for this human self, even though the human self never even remembers you're there. So imagine, what do we do as human beings? We're always seeking, aren't we? And for most of us, due to our conditioning, society, biology, we're always seeking for something outside. Oh, when am I going to meet my soulmate? Oh, when am I going to meet the one? Oh, when am I going to have enough money? How can I have enough money so that I feel safe, so that I feel relaxed, so that I can feel free? Oh, how can I know my life purpose so I can feel fulfilled? Oh, how can I exercise and do things so that my body will look a certain way and feel a certain way so that I'll be seen and thought of as lovable or acceptable in society so that I will finally have respect for myself. We live our lives seeking this deep longing is within us and we spend it looking outside the whole time. It's so rare that we really turn inward. Even so many of us that have meditation practices, even decades of meditation and spiritual seeking, we're still looking outside. So many of us, aren't we? Maybe we know meditation helps us quiet the mind, but we still think that, oh, if I just had a better job or a better relationship, I would feel peace. I would feel love. So imagine then your beloved, precious soul has been with you through lifetime after lifetime of seeking. It has watched you go from one relationship to the next, one job to the next, one diet fad or exercise routine or new plant medicine or something. It's watched you go from thing to thing to thing looking for something. Imagine how your soul would feel the day that you finally realized that soul has always been here. And rather than looking outside with your back to your soul, hoping that another soul will make you feel lovable or worthy, rather than your back being to your soul for the first time, you turn around and you see. You see that soul has been with you all along. You see and feel that soul has loved you more than any love you've ever longed for, and that soul has been here. Imagine how your soul would feel. How would your soul feel if you finally truly turned toward your soul rather than looking for everything outside of you or every change you think you need to make you feel whole? What would it feel like for your soul for you to finally say, ah, I see you. I see you, and I'm so grateful you've been with me all along. What does that feel right now, my friends? What does that feel like right now? Just to imagine that. And you're welcome just to be in your experience of it or to share in the chat if you wish. What would it feel like for your soul to finally be seen and remembered? Ina shares, in love with what you are saying. Thank you. Feels like there is hope. Steve shares, bold. Destiny shares, relief. How would your soul feel if after millennia you finally remembered that your beloved has always been right here? Tenderness, calm, grateful, warm. Yeah, yeah. Recognized, open, feel like home. Yeah, peaceful. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Yes, coming home to who I really am, complete. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, exactly. Harmonious. Yes, just let them keep coming and we'll just keep sharing as you wish, my beloveds. Exactly. So that's why we're here. We're here to cultivate this precious relationship, this most precious relationship that has always been here. It's always been here. Always. Always. How good would it feel, my friends? Just imagine it with me if you like. Or maybe you know this experience already. How good would it feel to wake up in the morning with a full heart feeling enveloped in the light of your soul? Just imagine that. You wake up in the morning, there's no aloneness, There's no worry. There's no feeling that something's wrong or lacking. There's no immediate jumping into the mind to think about all the things you have to do and change to be a better person. You wake up and you feel enveloped in the warmth and the light of soul. How good would that feel? Or in your day, when you might normally start to get anxious and your mind might start spinning and you start thinking about everything that you have to do and all the things that need to get done and everything that happened before that was so painful, rather than those patterns coming in, there's this warmth, there's this peacefulness, there's this quiet, and you just give yourself permission to be for a moment. Not because you feel so overwhelmed, you feel like you have to, but just because it's this space inside of you. This is the grace of cultivating the relationship with the soul. Ah, Tatiana is asking or sharing, um, I just wonder, why aren't we trained to look within since childhood? I am thinking whoever created us forgot to give us a manual how to live. But that's the point. That's the point. The point is, well, 2 things. Actually, there are many things I could say on this. I don't wanna go too far off on a tangent here. I know what you were saying was kind of rhetorical and kind of a joke. Of course, there are many reasons, and part of it is that forgetfulness that I was speaking to. And there are manuals. I haven't, I've been immersed in yogic teachings since birth, and I wasn't raised religious, so I haven't explored a bunch of religions to know. I know that although many religions, from my humble understanding, are very tainted by the fearful mind of man, that many religions, sometimes in their foundation, in their core, are kind of like a roadmap for how to feel this divine connection to self. It might be looked at through the label of God or things like this, but it is so much of what we're speaking about. If you really look at the foundation of so many spiritual teachings or even religious teachings, they're very pure in heart. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that is from that fearful mind. In my, again, humble opinion, I'm not here to say that I'm right. I'm definitely not here to say that your religion is bad or wrong. Just saying that the mind of man tends to taint things, not because man is bad, human is bad, but because there's so much fear in the system of the human being. There's so much fear. How could the human being even interpret even divine messages when it is so saturated in fear? How could it even interpret those purely if there wasn't some opening? And so many of us just live in so much fear. So our perception of life is through that lens of fear. Not always, our essence is not that fear. It's not who we are, but that's how so many of us experience the world. So coming all the way back around, I have been exposed to yogic teachings my whole life, and my understanding is so much of what yoga is, and I'm not speaking just about the physical postures. Yoga is very much a way of life. It is so much of what we're speaking to, and many of these different teachings are exactly what we're speaking about. They are roadmaps. They are roadmaps to come into harmony with ourself, to be in harmony with the world around us. And within that inner and outer harmony, we have more profound experiences of this light that we are, this soul that we are, this source that we are. So, just to kind of catch there, what you were saying there, Tatiana, let's take a breath together, shall we? I was going to say something, but let's take a moment to just take a breath. This is a lot of information. And I'm also curious, as we take a breath, if you're starting to feel something waking up within you, is there anything shifting inside of you right now? Maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it feels relaxing. Maybe it feels like there's some resistance. Maybe you feel like you're being held in the arms of love. Just kind of notice. Let's take a breath. What is happening in your inner world in this time together here? Oh, that's beautiful. Yuri's response to what does it feel like turning toward the soul was finally allowed to grieve, beginning of healing. Oh, I feel that. I really feel what you're saying so deep within my heart. It's like this. Yeah. Because when we live in the illusion of separateness from soul, from God, from source, from each other, it's so painful. We live in so much pain. And it's when we turn toward ourselves with love and start to remember that so much of that pain starts to dissolve. It's not always easy. Many of you know bits and pieces of my personal story. Um, and this lifetime alone, yeah, as all of us, I, um, I've experienced tremendous amounts of pain. I mean, like the throes of suffering, profound pain and suffering. I'm not here. I am here loving you, grateful for you. And I am here as someone who continues to go through what we might call the darkness in the process of this returning to the self. And it's kind of a funny way to think about it because how can you return to something that's never left? But that's the experience that we have, right? We feel separate from self. We feel separate from soul. We feel separate from God. And it's so painful. But it's always been right here. We've always been right here, loving, caring, patiently waiting for our minds to start to remember, to be curious, to explore who am I? Where is soul? Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friends. Crying, great release, something shifts, overwhelmed with feelings, but trying to breathe, completely relaxed for the first time. Whew, and allowing myself not to overthink. Thank you, my beloved Monica, and my soul just loves yours. I like this idea too that all of our souls are actually also one soul. Can you feel that love of the soul, just loving the soul? Thanks for sharing, my sweet, sweet friends. So we'll start to wrap up here shortly, but I'd like to leave us with an exercise that we can that we can practice until we're together again. I think I have to double check. I think all of these soul relationships, nourishing the relationship with the soul sessions are at the same time. I almost said the old time we used to meet. What is today? Today is Wednesday in my time zone at 6 p.m. Eastern. So I think we continue, but you can always again check my live schedule on the profile page to uh, to see there. All right, ready? You ready to? Thank you, Shanjeev, for sharing that. Thank you. Yeah, feeling exhausted and part of what I know for me that some of the most profound exhaustion I've ever felt was fighting life and holding on to the pain and the suffering of the separateness. And sometimes that's just the process we have to go through. We might think we're exhausted because of our relationships. We might think we're exhausted because of our jobs or things. And although those things definitely impact us and can create a sense of exhaustion, there's a deeper exhaustion that many of us experience, and that is that exhaustion of feeling separate from life, from God, from source, from self. And what I have found in my life, again, as I was saying, so often it's a journey. It's not like, "Oh, great, okay, here's my soul, everything is better now." Like, it's a journey of going through these dark places, these painful experiences in this process of expanding, of peeling the layers of the old so I can remember who I am. So there's that aspect. And what I can also share at this point, having had years of state shifts within myself, is so much of what I might feel exhausted by in my daily life is mental exhaustion that moves into emotional exhaustion. And when I am at home in myself, when I really feel this, where the soul is embodying the personality, all of those things that were exhausting me before, they just start to dissolve. I don't have to fix all of the problems. I don't have to change my whole life around. I don't have to go through years of therapy and healing. There's this dissolving that starts to happen when the soul is embodying the personality, the humanness. It doesn't mean that there isn't still room to work, with therapists or coaches, or to work on trauma and healing trauma from the physicality. It doesn't mean that all of these things aren't still available to us and even necessary. I'm just sharing that when I start to relax into the soul, so much of what was exhausting me before starts to dissolve and disappear. And so I share that as maybe an invitation, a light at the end of the tunnel, a reminder for each of us that beauty, that freedom, that peacefulness is right here. It's right here. And part of this 5-week journey is, okay, if it's right here, how the heck do I find it? Yeah. So that's what we're doing together. Oh, beautiful, Jason. Thanks for sharing that. All right, my love. So, this is an exercise that I invite you to use every day until we see each other again, and even beyond that, if you wish. And if we never see each other again, if you didn't resonate with most of what I said, but only a little bit, I invite you just to try this on. Just try this on and see what happens. So, my soul gets so happy when I'm just like, it knows what we're about to do, and like there's this bubbling that's happening inside of me. This is part of the beauty too of cultivating the relationship with the soul. Again, the intellect experiences the soul as something different, but really what I'm experiencing is this bubbling bliss and joy from with the center of my being each time I turn toward the soul. So you're welcome to have your eyes opened or closed. Sometimes it's easier to close them or just let the gaze be soft so we're less distracted by things outside. And you may wish to have your hands on your heart, or if you can't move your body, imagine that your hands are holding your beautiful, beautiful, precious, tender heart. And then I invite you to repeat these words to yourself. And you, after a little bit of repeating it, you might find that there's a more authentic way for you to be speaking to your soul. And if that arises, just go for it. Just let your authentic words to your soul start to come out. We'll start repeating these words though. And you might imagine your soul. Maybe you feel your soul is in your body, or you feel like your soul is standing across from you, or above you, or below you. Start to imagine that you can feel your soul. And if you don't feel anything, that's totally okay. You're not doing anything wrong. Let's just play with this idea that we can sense the soul someplace, or at least have an intellectual idea of soul is here. And then we'll repeat these words from our hearts to soul. Oh, my beloved, precious soul, I love you. I need you in my life. Oh, my soul, you are so beautiful. You are so precious. My sweet soul, fill me with your light. Fill me with your love. Anchor yourself in my entire being so I may remember I am soul. I am soul having a human experience. I am the light of soul. Oh, my precious soul, I need you. I feel so alone at times. I feel so much pain. Fill me with your love. Hold me, my precious soul. Hold me close. Hold me, wrap me in your love. Wrap me in your peace. Let me feel how loved I am by you. Oh, my beloved soul, I need you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for teaching me how to love you. My beloved soul, I give you permission to embody me fully. My beloved, precious soul, I give you permission to embody me fully. Oh, my beloved, precious soul, I am yours. I am yours. Begin to speak to your soul every day. And if there's one time to really develop this as a habit, I invite you. Think of me, think of my voice, reminding you, you've opened your eyes. You've just woken up for the day. It's time to speak to your soul with love. So you wake up, you start to realize you're waking up. And before your mind takes you anywhere else, you choose to speak to your soul. Hands on your heart. Oh, my beloved soul, good morning. I love you. Thank you for filling me with your love, with your grace, with your peace. Thank you for teaching me to love as you love, for showing me that I am loved. My beloved soul, I give you permission to embody me fully. So, this is the invitation to be with your soul and to speak to your soul every day. Every day. Start to build, to cultivate this relationship with soul. And it doesn't matter if you're in a bad mood. It doesn't matter if you're really upset. It doesn't matter if you're really depressed or anxious. Call on your soul. Your soul loves you and every single aspect of you. There is nothing you could ever do, think, or say that would take the love of your soul from you. Your soul loves you just as you are. All of you. All of you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for your love and blessings. My soul is just pouring, pouring, pouring out all of its love and gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you for being part of giving my soul a space to express itself in the world, to love. I'm so, so deeply grateful to each and every one of you. Deep, deep gratitude. Yes, Claire, those dark thoughts are habitual. Claire shared that oftentimes there's a waking up with dark thoughts. This is how so many of us live. It's a habit. So, this is a way we can start to retrain the mind, rewire the brain to welcome something new. And it may feel difficult. The negative or dark thoughts may be coming and coming in. Okay, no problem. They're there. It's a pattern. They're going to be there. We don't have to judge ourselves. We don't have to make ourselves wrong for it. Okay, here are these dark thoughts. I am choosing to speak to my soul. Okay, here are these dark thoughts again. I am choosing to love my soul. I'm choosing to welcome the love of my soul. And that's okay. They're going to be there. This is how we retrain things. We don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. You are so powerful. You are so creative. You are so beautiful inside and out. Each and every one of us. Don't give up on you. It takes time. It takes practice to retrain so many of these old painful habits. There's nothing wrong with you, my beloveds. There's nothing wrong with you. Start to commit to you, to your soul, to your light. Be there with yourself. And you'll find the more you move into these kinds of techniques, practices, ways of being, the more something starts to shift inside, the more it becomes a little more easy or natural to speak these ways or to think these ways. Oh, beautiful. So beautiful. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much for your donations, my friends. For anyone who's newer to the app, your donations, part of them go to supporting me and part of them go to support Insight Timer so that we can keep all of this alive together. This platform is what really has made it possible for us to connect in these ways. So, deep gratitude for Insight Timer and deep gratitude to each of you for your donations so that we can keep Insight Timer running and functioning so we can come together again and again. So let's see, our next time together, I think our next session together is a yoga asana session. Asanas are the physical postures of yoga. And our next one, I think, is happening Friday, my time zone. And just again, if you're newer to the app, if you look at the live schedule of any teacher, it will show you the time in your time zone. Yes. So for me, it is at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. If you'd like to come and move your body and breathe and strengthen and bring some vitality into the body. So 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Farnaz, it's been so long since I've seen you. So lovely. So lovely. Oh, hi, Sib. Beautiful. Yes, you are so welcome. All my love to you and Mama. Awesome, Aisha. I'm so glad. So glad. Ah. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I forget how to pronounce your name if it's um Ad Adela, Adila. That's beautiful. Thank you. Mm, okay. I love you. Love you. Love you. Come be part of our group. Love heals all. Join the affirmation challenge if you haven't already. Just short and sweet meditations to set you up for this wonderful mind shifting of the mindset. Mm. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. And it's time. Oh, and just to plant the seed, I know I've shared this before and it's been quite some time, but I know many of you are familiar with our wonderful Elliot. And now I'm forgetting how to pronounce Elliot's last name. I always used to say Treves, but I think it's Trevis, maybe. Sorry, Elliot. Elliot and I are at some point going to be sharing a collaboration that we've been marinating in for some time that we still are creating for everyone. So just to kind of plant that seed in our awareness that that is going to be coming at some point too. All right. I'll see you soon. And again, our next session, well, I'll just double check, but I do believe our next session in our cultivating our relationship with the soul series. Yep, it's a week from today at the same time, 6 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday. Speak to your beloved soul. The more you speak to your soul with love, the more you turn to your soul with love, the more attracted the soul is to just embody us. It's like the light is just drawn to embody us. See you soon. Blessings, blessings, blessings. My soul loves your soul so, loves you. My soul loves you. I love you.